Do you ever wonder what makes those setups you see online look so nice? It's usually good lighting. And also good color choice. You may think lighting is purely aesthetic, but good lighting is actually mainly functional. This functional approach naturally provides layered lighting that appeals to the eye. There are three basic types of lighting: ambient, task, and accent. Ambient is the first one that we will focus on. This lighting is what sets the mood of the space, and usually lights up the entire room to some degree. Interior designers and architects often achieve this with ceiling lights or floor lamps. Task lighting is pretty self-explanatory. It's the lighting used to light a specific task that someone does. This light is usually more concentrated, things like wall-mounted lights, pendants, desk lamps, etc. Accent lighting is used to highlight a specific object. Small spotlights or even objects that have light embedded, such as this headphone stand or this light for my drone. Another trick you see on desk setup online is that they use a softbox light to light their entire space before taking a photo or video of it. This paints an unrealistic image of how the space actually looks when they're using it. So we're going to try and achieve this appearance without using a large softbox. So how do we use this knowledge to create good lighting? Well, first let's determine what source of lighting will be your ambient light. If you have large windows, during the day, natural light is going to be your best ambient light. But for darker spaces, almost every house has pot lights built in. This is my least favorite way to light up a space. Pot lights often create harsh, ugly shadows that can cause eye discomfort. Not only that, the light bulbs used are often not the nicest and have an ugly yellow hue to it. If this is your only source of light, this problem can be solved with a Wi-Fi controllable and dimmable light bulb. I have here the Sengled Smart Bluetooth Mesh LED light bulb, who is a sponsor of this video. While these bulbs can't solve the natural harshness of pot lights, it can get rid of that ugly yellow hue and adjust to a more neutral color. But in my room, I have a floor lamp, and I definitely recommend this over pot lights. Floor lamps are a great way to create a more interesting lighting environment. I replaced the existing boring bulb with the Sengled bulb. This is the easiest setup I've had with any smart bulb before. With Amazon Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to purchase new lighting for your space. They come in both 1 and 4 packs, depending on your needs. With the bulb in place, it auto pairs with the Amazon Echo and can be adjusted via voice or the Alexa app to create the perfect ambient lighting conditions for my room. Discover devices.
Starting discovery.
Since we want this light to illuminate the entire space, I will set the brightness to 100% and adjust the hue, which we can do via voice command or using the Alexa app. If you don't have the Alexa app, you can use Sengled's app, which doesn't use cloud connection, making your connection and data more secure. With the ambient light in place, it's time to work on the task lighting. Here I already have a BenQ Lightbar. This is my main task lighting. It lights up my desk surface without creating harsh lights that hit my eyes. It can be dimmed and the temperature can be adjusted. You can already see that these two lights create a more dynamic and interesting environment when compared to just the pot lights. If you can't afford the BenQ Lightbar, other companies on Amazon make similar products for cheaper. They work just as well, but you sacrifice on the quality. With the ambient and task lighting out the way, it's time to focus on the accent lighting. This is where the space starts to come together. I have a bunch of accessories that offer bits of light that add to the dynamic of the space. Remember, you don't want to overdo it. I find people often do, with tons of backlighting and LED strips everywhere. To do LED lights well, I think it has to be minimal. Many people forget that the monitor itself offers lighting. For LED lighting, I have the Sengled Smart LED Light Strip. It also functions like the smart bulb that they have, with simple pairing to the Alexa app along with voice control functionality. Both of them work with the same network, allowing me to turn on and off the lights simultaneously. Turn on all lights.
Okay.
Adjusting the brightness down a bit ensures that the lights don't turn into ambient lighting, clashing with the lamp, but rather keeps its place as an accent light, subtly highlighting the back of the desk. So here I have a drone dome that provides subtle LED ring light around its base, which adds to interest without overtaking the other lights. This headphone stand does the same thing. I decided not to do with RGB keyboards and desk pads because this tends to clutter the space. It defeats the purpose of accent lighting when everything is accented, unless a heavy gamer appearance is what you're into. We can't forget the PC, which in itself has tons of various accent lighting, things like RAM sticks and fans all emit light, which together could easily classify as ambient because of how bright it makes the space in the evening. I find this helps balance out the light from my second vertical monitor and not leave the dark spot in the corner of my desk setup. Last is this huge custom neon sign. Since the sign can get so bright, it can act both as an accent or an ambient light, especially since my office isn't that big. On its lowest setting, I would classify it as an accent light, drawing attention to it but not overpowering the entire space. At 100%, I can turn off all other lights and it would light up the entire room. This space is a unique situation, in that the ambient lighting isn't actually all that bright. So much excess light from the light bar and the monitors, on top of the space being relatively small, inherently lights up the space, acting as ambient light altogether. But in a larger space, multiple sources of ambient light would be more crucial. You can see these lights each create their own layer, and then when mixed together, create a cohesive, aesthetic, and functional space. Now it's time to consider color. Color is actually fairly simple. There are two major factors to getting good color: color wheel and color balance. I'm sure you've all heard about the color wheel, so I won't go into detail about it. I just want to cover the color combinations that work well together. Just picking random colors to work well together on a wheel will often look poor. Here are the three most commonly used color combinations. Monochrome, which is just shades of a singular color. Complementary, which are opposite on the wheel. And triad, which is like a triangle of colors on the wheel that work well together. With the right colors in mind, you have to find the right balance of colors. For that, we can follow a specific rule that many cinematographers use, which is a 3-color rule. 60% of the frame will be the primary color, 30% will be the secondary, and the last 10% is the accent. For a black and white space like mine, we can almost do anything. Currently, my space follows a monochrome color scheme using the 3-color rule. To keep it simple, one of these, either black or white colors, will be my primary color. At night, this would be black, and during the day, this would be white, which leaves the remaining color to be the secondary one. With a blue neon sign, this naturally has become my accent color. This color adds interest to the space without overtaking the other colors. You can see there are many variations of blue in my space, from the light, the wallpaper, to the blue hue casted on the walls. To try out a complementary scheme, we will require more customization in the lighting. The LED strip and Sengled light bulb do up to 16 million colors, which allow me to customize my setup to my liking. Like turning it on and off, it's as easy as changing the color on the Alexa app. For this color scheme, I'm going to adjust the LED lights and bulb to be orange. A triad scheme is my least favorite in these spaces, as I think it clutters it, but here's my take on it. Once you find the scheme you like, feel free to leave it on and admire it 24/7, since the 60-watt equivalent bulb can save up to 80% of your energy along with Sengled's 3-year warranty. And that's it. Give it a shot and see what you can come up with. Thanks for watching.